Hey y'all, today we're going to take some notes over a couple of concepts. We're going to work on identifying theme and central idea. So you need to be taking notes. You need to go ahead and get out a piece of paper and a writing utensil so you can take notes over this material. Theme and its counterpart, central idea, are absolutely crucial to understand a work, really anything that you read. It is imperative. It's incredibly important for you to understand this concept and to be able to apply it. We are going to revisit it over the course of the year several times, and basically anytime we read a literary text, we're going to be talking about theme. It is crucial for you to understand. So I hope I've made the point that this is very important. Really trying to encourage you to take notes over this stuff. So again, just a reminder, whenever I give a definition of a word, you're going to want to write that down. If I ever end up spelling something, you want to write it down. If I say a concept or something twice, 3 times, you definitely want to write that down as well. I'm sure y'all have all seen PowerPoints in classes before, but the way that you listen and are active when getting notes from a PowerPoint, your job isn't just to write down everything that appears on the PowerPoint. So don't just look at the words on the PowerPoint and copy it down on your piece of paper. You also need to be actively listening to what I'm saying as well, because I'm telling you information. I'm expanding on what's in the PowerPoint. And really, you need to have both. The words that are appearing on the PowerPoint is like the framework, the skeleton. To really understand everything, you have to listen to what I say as well. Okay, so go ahead and get something out if you have not done so, and we'll proceed. Okay, so the first main concept we need to talk about is central idea. Go ahead and put that down in your notes. Central idea. Central idea is the main opinion, or the premise, or the main idea in an informational text. It's the main opinion, the main premise, the main idea in an informational text. So when I say informational, what I mean is something that's nonfiction. You're reading it to get information. The person that wrote it in order to inform an audience about facts, possibly to persuade them of something. But it is claiming to be true, to give truth. So the truth that's being presented, the author's opinion, the premise of what they're writing about, their main idea, is called the central idea. Central idea. Really, when you're reading an informational text, the entire text is organized around trying to prove or argue for the central idea. All of the reasons, all of the details in the text are going to support the central idea. Central idea is crucial. So we talked about with the summary video, kind of referring back to the 5-point or the 5-paragraph essay that some of y'all were probably taught. So you think about inside the paragraph, you're taught 5 sentences, which is not necessarily what you should do at all. But remember, it's like the main point and the reason and the details. And all of those paragraphs add up together to prove your main point. So that's a good way to think of central idea. The reasons and the details in the text. All of those other sentences are working to prove the central idea. Okay? Sometimes it could be referred to as a thesis. When we write essays, we're going to write several of them over the course of the year. You will have to write a thesis. It'll be the premise, the idea that you're trying to provide information about or you're trying to prove. In the scientific world, it's referred to as the hypothesis. And so I'm sure you're familiar with that word from your science class, but it's really it's the idea that's being tested or trying to be proved again. Okay, so central idea, really important that you get that concept. When you take the end of course test and the post assessment for this unit and other things that we'll be doing in this class, you will oftentimes be asked to find the central idea. So you need to understand, have kind of a game plan for identifying that. Now, y'all are all smart, intelligent people. I know it's not going to be incredibly difficult for you to find what an informational, a nonfiction text is trying to tell you. But let me just give you some good tools, some good hints to help you out there. You're always going to want to look for a strong statement at the beginning or the end of the text. Oftentimes it'll tell you what it is trying to be proved, what the idea is. And that's getting back to the notion of the thesis, right? That strong sentence that tells you what the article, the text is about. Another thing, which is so obvious, but a lot of people don't really think about it, is look at the title. You've read and you'll be revisiting a text that's like, are humans going to Mars anytime soon? Well, I wonder what the central idea is. Are humans going to go to Mars anytime soon? Yes or no? That's going to be the central idea. So when you're reading an informational text and you're trying to identify the central idea, ask yourself these two questions. One, what does everything in the text point to? Okay, what idea is everything supporting? Second, what is the text trying to convince me of? What is it trying to prove? What evidence is being presented to prove something? Okay, that's central idea. It's pretty basic, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, what is the main idea of the informational text? Okay, the next term is theme. Theme, it's right there, Theme. Theme is basically the parallel or the same idea as central idea, but for a literary text. So an informational text is trying to inform you of something, and a literary text is often one that presents a story. So oftentimes people think of literary as fiction, and that's not like a one-to-one, because there is such thing as a literary nonfiction. But anyways, literary texts try to tell you something in an artful way. The way it's composed is just as important as what is being said. So anyways, the main thing that a literary text is trying to tell us is theme, okay? So the definition of theme I want you to have is right there on the slide. It is a universal statement about life and or society. It's a universal statement about life and or society. So I put a picture of Yoda there. I don't know if y'all like Star Wars or not, but anyways, Yoda is always kind of like giving Luke these life lessons and these kind of weird, confusing quotes, but like once you unravel it and put it in the right order, it's like kind of deep actually. So think of theme as those universal statements. It's like the why sayings that you learn from a text, okay? It's the statement about life that you get from reading something, or about society, or about what it's like to be a human being from a literary text. Okay, so oftentimes you'll see the word theme, and it'll be used in two different ways. Okay, so theme can refer to a universal statement. Okay, like I said earlier. So a statement is a full sentence. Okay, or you can hear people, I had teachers that did this, they said the word theme, and what they meant by that was a topic, something that the text talks about. Now I know we're splitting hairs here, but a topic and a statement are two different things. So to clarify, for our purposes, we'll say a theme is a topic that a text talks about. Fatherhood, loneliness, anxiety, sacrifice. There's tons of topics. But a thematic statement, the key word is statement. So it is always a full sentence. All right, so it's what the text is saying about one of those topics. So you may read something and it could be like, Personal sacrifice is a wonderful way to show people that you love them. That could be a thematic statement that you get from reading a text. Okay, and I'm just pulling those examples from the top of my head. I'm sure we could think of better ones if we spend a lot of time kind of dwelling on it. But we'll be thinking about themes and thematic statements throughout basically every literary text that we read throughout the school year. So again, it's important to remember that you're going to hear people use the word theme and thematic statement interchangeably. You think to yourself that you know the difference, but just be clear that people are going to use the word theme and mean those two kind of separate things. Okay. Okay, the same way I did with central idea, I want to give you some tools, some questions to think about when you're trying to find theme. Again, finding theme, I've mentioned this several times already, I know, is going to be something we do throughout the school year. You will be asked to do it on the end of course test and for the post-assessment for this unit. But really, finding theme is the work of reading books, of reading literary text. Okay, so if you have designs on going to AP Lit, or you want to understand how teachers or professors or really smart people find these deep meanings out of things, it's because they're looking for themes. So the overall question you need to ask when you're trying to find theme broadly could be said as, what's the point? Okay? I read a lot of books, okay? And authors, much of the time, don't just sit down to tell an awesome story, okay? Hopefully they do tell a good story that has entertainment value, but a lot of the times, most of the time, they're also trying to make a thematic statement, okay? They're trying to tell you something, trying to give you a universal statement that you can apply. You take it from their literary work and you can apply it, or you can at least dwell on it. Okay, so there's sort of some sub-questions from that, what's the point? And here they are. You get asked, does any part of the text seem to stand out? Okay, is there a word choice that's odd? Does some character do something that doesn't feel right? Okay, it's not what you expected. Or do they act a certain way that seems out of character for them? Okay, when that's happening, that contrast is happening, pay attention to it, because oftentimes the author, the writer, is going to use that to make a statement. Second question, why does this certain event happen? And what greater significance does it have? Why does this event happen? What greater significance does it have? Okay, why does the character do this? Authors, y'all, do not just sit down willy-nilly and decide to write a story, and you know what, whatever comes out, that's going to be the book, and it'll just be awesome. I hope it works. It's a very deliberate process, and so actions taken by characters or events that happen to them are almost always trying to hint at theme or trying to explicate a theme. All right, third question. Characters are important. The next unit we're doing, Unit 2, we're going to talk significantly about characters because they're also crucial to text. But one of the things that we do when we're looking for thematic statements is we ask, how does the text want me to feel about this character? What does that say about their actions? Now, I know rarely you're going to read something and they're going to say, this person is terrible. You should hate them. Okay, and everything they do is bad. But authors and writers will try to nudge you in a certain way to feel about a character. So let's say there's a character and the first thing you see him do is he punches a little puppy dog. Are you going to like that character? Okay, so later on when he does something, because we're already supposed to not like them, are we going to approve of what he does? Probably not. So it's a way to try to identify the statement that the author is making. Okay, we've read Sticks by George Saunders already. Go ahead and get out that piece of paper if you haven't done so already. I really hope you didn't throw it away. So what I want you to do now is we're going to practice finding themes and creating thematic statements with sticks. So turn to someone next to you. One person, quietly, like to yourselves, read over sticks. Okay? Then I want you to have a conversation about thematic statements. Go through these questions. Ask, what's the point? How does this event happen? What greater significance does it have? How does the text want me to feel about this character? What does that say about their actions? What's something that stands out? So have that conversation with the person that you read the story with. See if you can identify themes and then create thematic statements. Okay? What is Saunders, the author, trying to tell us about these certain themes? All right, if we could pause the video for maybe 5 minutes or so, so y'all could read over it and work on identifying some themes and thematic statements. If the sub will go ahead and pause the video now, y'all work on that. All right, so these are some of the themes that are found in sticks. You've read over this several times. So we ask ourselves, what's something that sticks out? First of all, the dad behaves in a really, really odd way. My dad growing up was not someone who like went all out decorating the house or like Halloween and Christmas or anything like that. But he definitely wasn't like this guy either. So the odd behavior that he does, he has a pole and he decorates the pole for every holiday, major events like the Super Bowl. It's an odd thing. So that's something that stands out to me already, that this guy is kind of odd. Well, why does he do that? Another thing that stood out to me in the first paragraph, the second line down, Saunders doesn't come out and immediately describe the pole as a pole. Instead, he refers to it as a crucifix, which, if you're not familiar with that word, it means a cross. And usually it's referring to, it has like the religious connotation of like the cross that Jesus Christ died on. So in some ways it's like dad is sacrificing himself on this pole, but we'll have to see if it works or not. All right, so dad decorates in an odd way, and we're told still in that first paragraph, the pole was dad's only concession to glee. So concession is the only thing you give up. So really this pole is the only thing that dad does that's kind of fun or frivolous or wasteful at all. It's an odd childhood. We see in the last sentence of that paragraph that the speaker brings dates over, and he struggles to tell people, to put into words what his dad is doing with this pole. So we get to the second paragraph, and things have changed. Some time has passed in the perspective of the speaker. He says, we left home, married, had children of our own, found the seeds of meanness blooming also within us. So this is getting at another theme. We saw in that first paragraph the way that family kind of works. But now, in the second paragraph, we get there and the children are grown. They're not in the house. They left home. They married. They had children. They have families of their own. But even though they're not with dad anymore, dad is still with them, right? It says the seeds of meanness were blooming within them. So a little bit of that of dad's strictness, his rejection of anything that is happy or just wasteful for the sake of fun. That's in them. They have to work to not be that way. And as they grow up, dad changes. Look at the second line in the second paragraph. Dad began dressing the pole with more complexity and less discernible logic. So the pole, the decorations get more complex, which is interesting. Maybe he gets better at it, but then also it's combined with there's less discernible logic, so it becomes more difficult to understand what's happening to the pole. It's like more abstract. Here we're starting to see dad slide a little bit, moving Getting a little bit closer to the topic of mental illness, the theme of mental illness. Later on, he decorates it in some odd ways for like an earthquake. And then I think the real turning point is when their mother dies. And it's almost like a Grim Reaper kind of thing. He puts out stuff from when he was growing up, and it's like he's processing his youth. Why would he be processing his life all over again? He puts up baby pictures of the mother, puts up army medals, mom's makeup, old sweatshirts, theater tickets. Like he went to the movie and saved those tickets and he put them out there. Why is he doing that? It seems like he's trying to process something. Why would he be processing his life if there's not regret there? And so I think regret is a theme as well. Then we get to really kind of the most important point of the story. So at this point, the dad decorates the pole in a way that's never been decorated before. He paints it yellow, puts out little sticks in the yard, ties string from the pole to the sticks, and he hangs the sign love and the other sign with forgive. But notice forgive has punctuation on it. There's a question mark. He's asking, forgive. What is he doing there? He's asking for forgiveness, but from who? Notice the name of the story. If you had to name it, I think many of our first attempts at naming it would be the pole, or Dad's pole, or the holiday pole. I don't know, something stupid like that. But it's called sticks. Dad is saying he loves, and he's asking for forgiveness to almost like little poles to the sticks. Who are the sticks? It's his children. He's asking for forgiveness. This last part it's kind of sad. It's heartbreaking a little bit. Is he able to get forgiveness, to get that closure? It says he died in the hall with the radio on, and we sold the house to a young couple who yanked out the pole and the sticks and left them by the road on the garbage day. He dies. Is anyone there? No. Is he talking to anybody? No. He's just listening to the radio because he's alone. Do the grown-up children, come back to the house and like treasure Dad's pole? This thing was great. He used to decorate it. No, they throw it away and they throw the sticks that represented Dad's attempt at forgiveness away. So that's talking about the text. Those are some of the themes that we've seen: family, regret, mental illness, forgiveness. The way that children, even though they might not necessarily want to be, they're similar to their parents. Now think about the thematic statement. What is George Saunders, the author, trying to tell us about family? What is he trying to tell us about regret? Mental illness, forgiveness, parents and children. Okay, so think of a statement. All right. So talk over that with your partner. Pick one of those themes and come up with a thematic statement. And separately, you'll each write a paragraph on your own piece of paper about why you think that thematic statement works for sticks. All right, you'll be turning in your paragraph about the thematic statement. You'll also be revisiting Death by Scrabble, looking for a theme. And then are humans really headed to Mars anytime soon? You'll be looking at that for central idea. So just a reminder, those documents should be posted on Canvas, and stay tuned for more directions. All right, so this link will be posted in case there was something in the notes you missed or you wanted to go back and get more information about, or fill out your notes in more detail. It'll be posted on Canvas, so you can go to the YouTube link. But that's it. So go ahead and start working on the next thing. All right. Thank you. Bye.